What up? It's your boy Bass, and today's episode is about selling your watch. Yes, this episode is for those who is looking to sell that watch. Either they do love or they don't wear no more. So, let's get into it. If I am a person who has a watch, right, and I'm not talking about the Rolexes, the Cartier, excuse me, or the Omegas. We talking more like your Seikos or your Invictas or your um Belovas. I did recently did an episode on Belovas or your Belova watch, right? Where would I want to sell it? One place always come to mind in every major city they got one will be to go to a pawn shop, right? What if you're not trying to go that route? Because you know they're gonna short on you. So you want to get a bang for your buck. You ain't just trying to get your watch away. So where you gonna go? The power of the internet, my friend. The power of the goddamn internet. But with the internet, you feel me? You want some reassurance. You want some security with your purchase. You want to make sure that you feel me, like you ain't gonna get scammed or anything like that. For sure, bet. We going to exclude Facebook Marketplace, Craigslist. We going to exclude all that type of vibe, right? We going to exclude those. So now, boom, I got a couple suggestions for you. I got Poshmark and eBay. Poshmark and eBay, right? So Poshmark pretty much can sell anything. Anything that is I ain't gonna say anything. It's pretty much clothing, fashion, and accessories. Like that's the main thing: clothing and accessories. If it's shoes, so if it's like your hat and your whole outfit, everything you got on right now, if you look at your whole outfit, top to bottom, that is what they sell. Now eBay's a little different. eBay, you can just about sell everything. Sell everything besides things that are alive, your house and things of that nature. But you can pretty much sell everything. Your car parts, all that type of stuff. I could sell this TV in the back if I wanted to. I can sell that ashtray. I can sell that jewelry cleaner. I can sell the wash parts that's sitting on that TV stand if I wanted to. eBay's pretty much you sell everything. So when they allow you to sell everything, that means that they have boundaries on taxes, right? Because different things have to get taxed for different, for different reasons. And also, shipping and handling is gonna be, it's gonna come in different forms. Because, like I said, I can sell everything in here, but it costs different prices to sell everything in here. And that's what we're talking eBay. Because this TV has a weight to it, has a shipping requirement to it. So that shipping label price is going to be a little different. And then, depending on which company I go with, it's going to be a different price. So you could go with your standard United States Postal Service, which is one that I like to go with. United States Postal Service, and a priority mail. But with that it comes with a weight. So watches have a certain type of weight to it. Particular, if you sell one watch, if you sell a watch in a box, depending on the size of the box. I know sometimes Rolexes and stuff like that can have bigger boxes, but for the most part, a lot of times the box is less than a pound. So if it's less than a pound, pretty much good. Um, so the shipping cost for a watch could be cheap, and it also comes down to which part of the country they're in. For the most part, it's around $5 to $8. Like from what I see, like on eBay, it's like $5 to $8, like on eBay, right? So $5 to $8, not too bad. $5 to $8 for like shipping and handling. Um, and then on top of that, you have what you call your final value. I mean, the main fees you think about that is your shipping and handling and your final value fee. Your final value fee is what really gets you when it comes down to selling these watches. Your final value fee is gonna be roughly around like 15%. You got 15%. I believe it's 15% or 15 or like 15, 14% final value fee. Then you got like other fees, but the sales tax is paid by the customer, which means the price of your watch goes up for them on their end when they see it on their cash out, which could be a deterrent for some people. If I be like, damn, I'm looking at this watch, right? This watch is $35. That the sales tax on top of that, shipping and handling fee, just in case you put in a custom shipping and handling fee, like a base shipping and handling fee for everybody. Man, it starts to add up. So you don't want to, for the consumer, it starts to add up. But right now, I'm just going over the fees. So when you're thinking about selling your watch, the price of your watch. So when you pricing your watch, you got to take all these different things into account. Your final value of the fee is going to be 15%. So now you're going to be looking at how much can I really get off this watch. The one thing that I always see people go wrong at is they have so much emotional value towards the watch that they overvalue the watch, right? And it doesn't meet their expectation, doesn't meet what the market is wanting. Just plain and simple. You bought this watch on your birthday when you was out of town or something like this for $500 back in 2005, and now it's 2025. You try to sell a watch. No, it doesn't even take it anymore, but it's been in good condition, so it's probably just a battery. Let's just say it's just a battery. But just understanding that they have to break the seal, like pop the cherry in a sense. that they have to break the seal of the watch. I mean, I won't say break the seal, but they have to open the seal, which is open and reopen the seal. If it's a diver watch, that means that watch been pressurized, so they have to open up the watch. You feel me? Replace the battery. Hopefully, don't do no damage to it, and put it back on and try to resell it. But when they buy it from you, and you bought it at $500 because you were out of town, not realizing that they probably took a little bit of advantage of you, probably at that time, depending on the watch or the circumstance. Um, but probably not. So say the watch did appreciate in value. It was a limited edition. We just gonna go like a limited edition G-Shock, right? It was a limited edition G-Shock. Well, no, we ain't gonna say G-Shock. We gonna say like a limited edition. It was a Coach watch. But yeah, we gonna just say Coach watch. For example, we gonna use Coach as an example. You bought this Coach watch for $500 back in 2005. Now it's 2025. You're trying to sell this watch. Now this particular style of watch isn't really in style. It's a certain type of style of watch that was designed for that era, that moment, and now it's considered a vintage watch. So now what I would do is I will go on to eBay, right? Because even if you go into Google search and you put in that serial number of that watch and you try to get a value of what the watch is going for, when you go onto eBay and you try to sell it, you can do your research on it. It will let you know when was the last time this type of watch or a watch that was in the similar or relevancy of this watch was sold, and also what is the average selling price. And you can go look down the line of every watch sold in this particular category or style or make or model. So when you get to looking at that, now that gives you a realistic scope of how much this watch costs, because even though you might have paid a certain amount for it, certain watches appreciate, certain watches don't. Like, they just like cars. Let's just keep it plain and simple. Every Mercedes Benz is a collectible. Every Mercedes, listen to me. Every Mercedes Benz is a collectible. Yes, they retain value. So yes, it's gonna retain some value, but it might not be a collectible. So doesn't mean it appreciates. Okay, let's just make that clear. Let's just make that clear. So sometimes it's more about the emotional value that you had on it. Now, if you think about it, thinking realistically, you done wore this watch, you done had your time, you done made your memories, that time that came and passed, you got the photos, you got the Facebook gallery for it. Let go of the emotional attachment. and be realistic. Because right now, if you think about it, you done wore this watch, it's 20 years have passed, and you can still, for a $500 watch, you can still get 300 to 375 or 385 for the watch. I say one. And that is a value, and that is also the realistic scope that you also got to keep in mind. Because this could be your reality, for real. And the numbers might not even look that close. It could be something less than that. And some people will accept that, but some people don't. And like I say, I'm talking to those who are looking to sell their watch. They're trying to find a place, boom, they find a place to sell it, but uh, they have an unrealistic, and they don't know it yet, an unrealistic view or unrealistic expectation on what the watch should be sold for. And they feel like, yeah, you could probably find somebody that'll probably buy it. They probably value it the same way you do. It brings back the nostalgia. They willing to pay whatever price for it that they have. As long as it meets their budget, they willing to pay. But that means you got to sell the watch. And some people's okay with it. They okay with it. Like, shit, I done held on to the watch for 20 years. I can hold on to it for another year. Some people like, shit, man, the watch holding up space. I need to do something with it. I'm tired of looking at it. I don't wear it. I'm not going to wear it. And I don't want to give it away. I want to get my money back in some type of form or fashion. But I don't want to sell it for just anything. So let me go see what it's going for. Go on eBay. Research. They have a research tool where you can go see how much this watch is selling for. And when was the last time you sold? How frequently are people looking for this watch? What's the average price? One of my favorite tools. Helps give you a realistic perspective. And it's not like that on every market. And then, you got to also look at Poshmark. Now, when we get to Poshmark is a little different. The fees are different. It's just basic. If you sell a watch for 100, your fee could be like 20%. Across the board, doesn't change. Shipping and handling, free. They tell you, hey, use your own shipping. You feel me? They give you a little label that you can print your label off, slap it on there, ship it off. You don't pay nothing. All thing you do is pay that flat fee. Which is good. But in a way, sometimes it's kind of tricky because when you start to want to do offers and you start to want to try to negotiate on price, you got to always keep in mind their piece of the pie. So even though your price may say $100, or we can go back to the example, you have a $500 watch, even though your price, you can be relisted you can be put on it for 500. Even if you put on it for 500, you're not going to get paid out 500 exact dollars. You will have to raise the price to accommodate for those fees. But you don't have to accommodate for those shipping fee or anything like that. It's just for Poshmark fee. That ain't bad. That's not bad at all. That's not bad at fucking all. Like, you feel me? And I feel like they got eBay beat on that part. Like, they just make it plain and simple. You ain't paying for no shipping fee. You ain't paying nothing like that. But you just gotta understand, you just gonna have standard shipping. Yeah, it can probably get there in 3 to 5 business days. Truth be told. Like, I did it plenty of times. I also sell on Poshmark myself. So I get there like 3 to 5 business days. But one thing you have to keep in mind, on both these platforms that I'm talking about, eBay and Poshmark, you have to wait until the watch is actually delivered. Once it is delivered, you have to wait. And they got the tracker numbers too. So they make sure ain't no finesse going on. Once the watch is delivered, you have to wait 3 business days. Yes, 3 business days. It ain't like you could just go get your money, say delivered, cha-ching, cash out, pay out to you. It's like, no, it don't work like that. You have to wait 3 business days. And after you wait those 3 business days, then the money is released to you. Until then, the money is on hold. You know that you got the money because you can go into your account and they'll show you. on hold, this is how much money you have. Then once the money is past its waiting period of being held, then the money is released to you. Now here's the catch. Okay, this is what you have to keep in mind. On these platforms, the reason why they allow 3 days is because the person may get the watch, put the watch on, and realize that, hey, you sent me the watch without the original links. So my wrist is bigger than yours. I don't fit the watch. Can you send me the extra links? Well, you done moved about 2 or 3 times. The extra links, you done lost. Let's just keep it real. You lost. They're gone. No bread. No good. You ain't got it. So now the buyer has the decision to send the watch back. And that is why they keep the money on hold and they tell you to wait 3 days. Because they want to give the buyer a decision to actually see and hold and feel and evaluate the watch on their own in their own perspective. And they give them a grace period to make that decision to return the watch. And that's why on eBay it is refund guaranteed. I believe Poshmark is the same thing. Either that or they're going to leave you a bad review. Which also happens. They get the watch and they might still even get the refund. Just because your watch didn't meet their expectation because the measurements, you don't got all the original links. And they like, you didn't mention that in the description or in the product description when they went to go buy it. All that, they can put that on there and count it against you. Even though it was just an honest mistake, it was just a misunderstanding. You feel me? Because they also did the action, and you didn't give them the information. It was information that was just not out there. You feel me? Not received or not given. That will make them want to, return a watch. And they just do return a watch. And if the watch get returned, I feel like as the seller of the watch, that is your goal to try to like upsell something else. You feel me? Maybe not the watch, but you might got something else they like. That's the power of eBay. It's the power of both platforms. Keep it real. But let me not venture off to that. We're gonna save that for another episode. But for right now, we're still talking about somebody who's looking to sell a watch. So yeah, I'll look at that. Yeah. To me, when it comes down to watches, I have sold more watches on eBay than Poshmark. So I will post to both, but I know you're probably going to get more looks and you're going to get better analytics to kind of track and try to get an understanding of what you can sell your watch for, how to sell your watch, and get more people to actually look at your watch. Now, here's a benefit that eBay does have that I love. A lot of people criticize. A lot of people they have their own opinions on it. Here's my opinion, and here's the feature. The feature that they have that Poshmark doesn't have is they allow you to use ads on your listing, so they will promote your listing for you and place it in front of people that are looking for watches like yours or is looking for the watch that you have. This is a beneficial feature because roughly about 50% of the watches listed on there have some type of promotion right behind it or campaign. This is this helps your listing get seen. It also helps it get sold, and because of this, and because you have access to this feature, you also don't have to pay for it up front. It is one of those type of what's the lawyers be saying? Saying we get paid when you win type of situations, which is dope as fuck. Because other platforms, no matter if you on social media things like that, they're gonna charge you per click, and they're gonna charge you per duration. This platform doesn't. They just charge you for when they get a win. If the product gets sold, they want a certain percentage. And the percentage is negotiable. So you decide how much you want to put into advertising your listing. Now, on average, they will set a recommendation for you, which is on average around anywhere from 11 to 13%. That is up to you. If you want to give them 11 to 13% off of what you have sold to watch for, then shit, it's perfect. I mean, I do it because I look at my margins sometimes. You know, when it come down to, for me, I look at how much I spent to get the watch, and I look at how much I'm trying to get back. Like I said, but I'm talking as somebody who just they bought a watch 2005, 20 years ago. It's 20 years later. They trying to sell a watch. That is what I do. But now I have to go be a dad, so this is gonna be the end of the podcast. But I appreciate y'all for tuning in. It's your boy Bass. Peace.